Hi everyone, welcome to another week of our chair yoga session. It's July, it's crazy to believe, but we've made it to July, so well done. I hope you're all doing well. So first things first, if you are new to the session today, if you haven't been to any chair yoga classes with me before, my name is Chrisi and I run Blackheath Yoga, and I've been teaching these chair yoga sessions at the Age Exchange with a lovely group of yogis for the past, I don't know, year and a bit. But due to COVID, we can't practice together for now, so we are practicing together virtually. So make sure before we get started that we have set up for our session. And for today's class, we're going to be needing, first of all, a comfortable chair. If your feet are not comfortably resting on the floor, maybe a pillow underneath your feet. I think my chair is a good setup, so I don't need a pillow. Let's put this to the side. And for today, we're also going to be needing something resembling a yoga belt. This may be a yoga belt, or assuming most people don't have to have one lying around, you can grab instead a dressing gown belt, a scarf, an actual belt. Anything goes really, any longer piece of fabric. So if you don't have this near you, then feel free to pause the video for a moment, go and gather your things and then come back. Oh, and make sure you have some water with you. Always a good idea to have some water with you. So if you have everything, the belt for now, that can rest somewhere, maybe hanging it over the back of the chair so you don't have to lean too far. And then come into a comfortable position where you allow the back to rest into the back of the chair. Push your feet away from the body a little bit and roll the shoulders up, back and down. And then allow your eyes to close. The palms may draw up towards your body a little bit more. The shoulders release back down. And allow your entire body to sink down into your chair for a moment. And that always takes a moment. There's always a bit of rush to get ready, thoughts jumping around. So allow all of that busyness to slowly settle, inviting your mind into the body. And then take a long breath in through the nose. And a big sigh out through the mouth. Slow inhale. And big exhale. Once more, long inhale. And exhale. Allow everything to settle down and take a moment to notice how your body feels, your physical body. If there are any aches, any pains, any injuries, any sense of discomfort that we need to look out for today. And if there is, setting our first intention that we move mindfully with wherever your body is today. Yoga is not a time where we need to achieve anything. Instead, there's a time to come back to how we feel right now and honor that. Yoga is a self-acceptance practice, accepting what we find in the body and the mind, and then responding skillfully. And yes, we're moving, we're breathing, but it's much more an internal practice than an external one. Bring the awareness down to your breath and begin to notice how your breath feels right now in this moment. Is it fast? Is it slow? Does it feel shallow? Does it feel deep? And notice the movement in the breath. The movement as you inhale and as you exhale. Follow that with your mind's eye for a few more moments. And if you find that your mind is wandering, it's jumping around, doesn't want to cooperate yet, that's okay. Notice where your mind is being drawn to. Is it a sound? Is it a to-do list, things you need to do today, or things you need to remember? Then notice that and then bring the awareness back. One more inhale. And exhale. And then allow your breath to settle. And we're going to start today's session with a round of pranayama. So a breath exercise where we're going to lengthen the inhalation together and the exhalation, first to the count of 4 and then to the count of 6. Now, if that feels uncomfortable for you in any way, it makes you feel uncomfortable across your chest or makes you hold your breath unnaturally, then just let go. Ignore my counting and breathe in your own way, just a little bit longer and a little bit more deeply. So let's start by taking an inhale through the nose and a sigh out through the mouth. Close the mouth, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And then inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. Inhaling. Exhaling. Breathing in and out. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. Exhale. And then let go of my count and settle your breath at wherever count feels good for you. And gradually, without opening the eyes, if you can, begin to reach the fingertips up towards the sky and find a gentle stretch through the body from left to right. Maybe rotating for the wrists. And then gradually let the arms rotate down into your lap and blink your eyes open. Good, well done. If you want to, a little bit more of an active practice, shuffle away from the back of the chair towards the front. So we're sitting a little bit more on the edge of the chair, which means we need to use our center, our core to sit comfortably here. Close your eyes for a moment, bring the hands into the lower back, on the lower belly. And become aware of all the muscles here that need to switch on to keep us upright comfortably. Let's find a little engagement here through the lower belly. So the sensation of the lower belly drawing back towards the spine. And that sensation of the pelvic floor gently lifting. So almost a little lift through the center. Good. And keeping that engagement there, blink the eyes open, release the arms by the side. And the next inhale, we're going to open the arms wide, reach them above the head. And as you exhale, we're going to lower down through heart center. 2 more times. Inhaling, reach the arms wide, allow the gaze to lift. Exhale to lower. Good. 1 more time. Inhaling, open the arms wide. Exhale, lowering down. And bring the hands onto the knees. And then we're going to draw the chest forward, opening into cow pose. And as we exhale, we're going to round the spine, moving into cat posture. So a little reminder, I'm turning sideways. Please stay turned forward on your side. Inhaling, draw yourself forward. And exhaling, rounding the spine. Let's do a couple more here. Mobilizing into the back, opening through the whole length of the spine here. Last time, inhale, drawing forward. And exhale to round. Slowly reaching back up, come into an upright position, checking that the spine is long. And we're going to draw the shoulders up to the ears and back down behind us. Bring your fingertips onto the shoulders, and we're going to begin to draw some circles with our elbows. Next inhale, bring the elbows up by the side, and then exhale back down. So be very careful here. If that doesn't feel good for your shoulders, you can make this movement really small, or you can maybe even make the movement without the arms on your elbows. So we can also just make this movement here without the fingertips on the shoulders. Good. If this feels okay, let's change direction, go the other way. So drawing the shoulder blades together, reaching high, and exhale forwards and down. So little shoulder mobilization. Shoulders, so much potential to have tightness, tension. If you're spending too much time sitting down, Release the shoulders back down. Bring the hands onto your knees. Close the eyes and begin to draw the chin over towards the left shoulder. And then exhale back to center. Inhaling over towards the opposite shoulder. And exhale back to center. Can you do this one more time and notice if there's one side that feels easier or harder compared to the other side? And then coming to center. And still with your eyes closed, let's draw the shoulders up to the ears. Squeeze and hold there for 3, 2, 1, and then release. With a sigh. Let's do it again. Inhaling, squeeze and hold for 3, 2, 1, and then drop it with a sigh. Last time, inhale for 3, 2, 1, and release. Give the head a little shake, blink the eyes open. Good. Now let's grab hold of our belt. But before we go into the movement, into the posture, word of warning, those of us that have issues with the shoulders, I recommend go super easy on this next little exercise and maybe even consider taking a break or instead just continuing with our little shoulder rolls that we did before because we're going to floss our shoulders. So open your belt wide, whatever it is, a dressing arm belt, an extra belt. If there's a buckle on the belt, grab hold of the buckle side just so you don't end up accidentally smacking yourself in the face. I have definitely done this before. Take the arms really nice and wide, really generous. Sitting up still nice and straight. And on an inhale, let's see if we can draw the arms above the head. And on the exhale, try and let them fall back behind you. And at one point, you're going to find that, oh, this is feeling quite sticky. If that's the case, take the grip a little bit wider and then see if you can release them back down behind you that way. Inhaling, bring the arms back up. Ooh, exhaling back down. Good. So after the first round, take a moment to notice how that felt. If there's pain or discomfort or it just doesn't work, then let it go and instead come into our shoulder rolls. If that felt bearable, then let's do it a couple more times. Maybe taking the grip a bit wider, maybe a bit more narrow, letting the arms come up and then exhale back behind you. So this kind of motion in our shoulders, this 360-degree motion should be possible in our shoulders, but the reality is that as we are growing up, as we are growing older, the joint gets quite tight. It's very prone to injuries. So we need to proceed very carefully, but you might notice that if this is okay, that after a couple of times that the movement gets easier. Yes, there is heat. There's maybe a sense of effort in the shoulders, but the movement itself becomes a little bit easier. It's almost like as if we're greasing the joint. Make this your last one. And then release the belt forwards and down onto your legs. Release the hands onto the knees. Close the eyes. And allow any effort, any heat, any sense of strain to slowly sink down, almost run out of your arms into the legs and down into the earth. Can you observe how your shoulders are feeling now? Is there a sense of heat, of tingling, warmth, or anything else you can notice? And blink the eyes open. Beautiful. And let's keep the belt over our lap, but move it back a little bit so it's not in the way for our next little exercise. Let's come down to our feet. Begin to lift one heel and then the other one. So we're going to walk out our feet a little bit to warm up. So I'm just turning to the side so you can see, lifting the left heel, lifting the right heel. Good. Let's do this a few times. Just to loosen up, to warm up through the calf muscles, allowing them to move. And the next time the left heel lifts, lift it a little bit higher, stretching into the back of the foot. Hold it here if you want to try, and if you know this works for you, you can lift the foot and flip over the toes and stretch the front of the foot. But very careful, this probably for at least half of us, this feels really rather uncomfortable. And if that's the case, then skip it, come back. Release down and then come onto the opposite foot. So the right heel lifts away, stretching into the back of the foot and either holding there or stretching over the front of the foot. Good. And then releasing down. Look down to your feet. Let's lift all 10 toes away from the mat. Let's just spread them wide, super wide, and one at a time, lower them down into the mat. So check that your feet are not rolling in or rolling out. Starting with your little toe, the little toe. Draw the little toe down into the mat. And then the second to last toe. I don't know what the official name of that toe is. Second to last toe. Huh. Then I guess that's the middle toe. So the third toe, lowers down. Then the fourth toe. And then the big toe last. And then press the big toe into the floor. Can you lift the other four toes away from the mat? So this is a slightly different foot mobilization exercise. So look down to your feet. So you might literally look at your toes. You might even give them a little helping hand, checking that the feet don't start to roll in or roll out. And then reversing that movement, can you lower the second toe into the mat? Oh, and you notice that your toes don't really want to cooperate, but that's okay. That's all right. Lower the third toe or some toe into the mat, and the fourth, and then the last, and then walk out the feet, letting that go. This is really quite hard. I think I need to practice this one a little bit more. And then come down into stillness. So from here, let's extend the right foot away from the left foot away from us. Kick it into the back, kick the heel down into the floor and flex the toes back towards the face. So the heel might stay on the floor here, or if you want a little bit more, we can bring the hands behind the left leg and then float the foot away from the mat and flex the toes back towards the face. And then let's begin to point the toes and flex the toes, point the toes. Couple more times. And begin to draw a couple of big circles. Nice big circles, one way and the other way. And then give the toes a little scrunch, spread them wide, almost waving with your toes. And then release the foot down into the mat. Good. Swapping sides, grab hold of your right foot from behind. Draw the shoulders up, back, and down, extending the opposite heel away. Flex the toes back towards your face. Find a sense of lift, of length through the center. And then let's begin to point the toes and flex the toes. And remember, if this is too much, just come down. Let the heel rest on the floor instead. Pointing, flexing, and then drawing a couple of circles. If you find little clicks and little pops, that's absolutely fine. Changing direction, go the opposite way. And then draw the knees into the body. And exhale back down. And those of you who have done sessions with me before, you know probably what's coming next. We have got our belt still draped over our thighs. So if you haven't, then go and grab it again. Quick sip of water, always a good idea. And then release the belt and place it onto the floor. Bring it underneath your left toes. So now in this next exercise, we're going to build a little bit more strength through the center, strength through the arms, and releasing through the back of the extended leg. So walk your hands down the belt roughly to about knee level, maybe a little bit lower. And the belt should be somewhere underneath closer towards the toes. So I'm going to lift my foot for a moment so you can see. So the belt is just underneath my toes. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Check in with your center. That you're still sitting up nice and straight. Hug the shoulders back. And on the next exhale, begin to kick in the heel away and lengthen the leg forward. This may come up towards parallel or maybe not quite so far, whatever works for you. I'm going to move sideways so you can see for a moment. So kicking the foot away. If you are really starting to lean back, then draw yourself back up, even if that means the foot lowers down a little bit more. So not collapsing into the lower back. Can you draw in for the center? The crown of the head lengthens up towards the sky, reflexing the foot back. The shoulders are away from the ears. And that is a little sense of hugging the elbows back. So our arms are getting a little bit of a workout here as well. Good. Good. Take another couple of breaths here. Maybe even thinking about drawing the left kneecap up a little bit. So there's a sense of engagement through the front of the extended leg. Good. Let's take one more last inhale here. And then exhale, bend the knees, lower the foot back down, and then release. Before we come over to the other side, we're going to release into the lower back because this pose is quite easy to fall into the lower back. Heel to the feet, hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. And then bring the forearms down. The belt can just rest over your lap here again. Forearms come onto the knees. And then allow yourself to sink forwards and down. So either just taking a little gentle forward fold with the hands on the knees, or maybe releasing the fingertips all the way down towards the mat. The crown of the head sinks down. And take a long breath in. And a big sigh out. Slow breath in. And side out. And then inhale, we're going to walk ourselves slowly back up into an upright position. And then changing sides. So bring the belt over the ball of the opposite leg. So your right foot this time. And again, just underneath the toes, you might need to move the belt around a little bit. Good. And then walk the hands down. So they are roughly about knee height, maybe a little bit lower. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down, sitting up nice and straight. Press your left foot into the floor for support. And as you exhale, we're going to extend the right leg out long. And again, if you have started to lean back, I'm over exaggerating here, then hug the elbows back and draw yourself back up into an upright position. So there's lots going on in this pose. Let's build it up from the ground upwards. So the left foot is grounding into the mat or in the floor underneath your feet to lengthen the spine. The shoulders draw up, back and down, and the right toes flex back towards your face. There's a sense of lift for the center. So if you're collapsing into the lower back, draw yourself up a bit, maybe even if that means you need to lower that foot down a little bit more. Draw the lower belly back and allow the crown of the to lengthen up. The elbows hug back into the body. We're getting a really nice workout for our arms here. Good. And then hold it for another one final deep breath in. And slow breath out, bending into that knee. Slowly release it down. And then take the belt, prop it to the side or the back of the chair, and let's release through the hands. Good. So let's open the arms, fingers wide, and then close them a few times. And then rotate out the wrist. Nice and slow. So imagine it's almost as if you're trying to really elaborately play the piano. So as we're gripping and holding, that might create some tension here. We want to let that go and then give the hands a little shake. Good. And let's lift the arms up towards the sky. And then a gentle rotation out. Let them come down into your lap. So letting go of any tension in the wrist. Beautiful. Bring your hands onto your knees and we're going to take another forward fold to release the lower back. So forearms onto your knees. Maybe they come all the way down towards the earth, whatever works for you. And then take a slow breath in. And a slow breath out. Let's do it again. Inhaling. And maybe exhale with a sigh. Last one, inhale. And exhale. And then allow yourself to slowly walk back up knees. Take a moment of rest here if you have come all the way from the floor, helping yourself into an upright position. And then close the eyes for a moment. Let's allow ourselves to come back to the breath, finding that rhythm again. Before we are going to flow through one round of sun salutation together. So a little sequence that combines all of these movements into one continuous flow that we're linking with the breath. If you know the sequence, feel free to keep your eyes closed. If not, you can take a low gaze at what I'm doing as a guide. Let's take a slow breath in together and a slow breath out. One more like that, inhale and exhale. Blink the eyes open, release the arms. Inhaling, reach the arms up to the sky, growing tall. Exhale, lower down through heart center. Inhaling, opening wide, sweeping it all up. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhaling, opening wide. Exhale, lower down through heart center. Release your hands onto the knees. Inhale, draw the chest forward, open the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, round the spine, moving through cat posture. Inhale, draw yourself forward one more time, cow posture. Exhale, bring the forearms onto the knees and then folding down either towards the earth or holding here on your forearms. Once you get there, take an extra breath in through the nose and slow breath out. Inhaling, coming into the twist, reach the right fingertips up towards the sky, maybe up towards the sky or on your knees, lift the gaze. Exhale to fold. Inhaling, the opposite arm reaches high. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling slowly, rolling back up through the spine. Draw the chest forward, open the heart. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhaling, take the fingertips wide, sweep them high. Exhale, lower down through heart center. Close the eyes and release the hands onto your knees. Take a slow breath in and a gentle breath out. One more inhale and exhale. And then just for a few moments without moving, observing how your body feels. Any sensation of any remnants of movement. Maybe feeling almost a sense of tingling from the energy that we have just built from moving. And then blink the eyes open and swallow a couple of times. Well done. Got a couple more postures to go before we come into a relaxation. Coming into a twist first so we can release into the spine. So with twist, we want to be super careful. If there's any discomfort in the spine as you're doing that, take it super easy, or maybe even skip the pose. So two options for our twist. Either we can cross the right knee on top of the left, if that feels uncomfortable for you and there's no discomfort in the hips. If not, we can cross the right ankle in front of the left. And now let's see if I can if I can get my lefts and rights here correctly. So the right leg, right ankle crosses in front of the left, or the right knee crosses on top of the left. Good, your choice. Then take the left arm over onto the right knee and the right arm behind you, just for a little bit of support. Lengthen the spine, growing tall. And on the exhale, we're going to use the hand against that knee as a brace to gently draw ourselves into the twist. Begin to gaze over the right shoulder. Take a slow breath in and slow breath out. On the inhale, growing a little bit taller. And on the exhale, sinking maybe a little bit deeper, and maybe a couple of millimeters is all there is. Last inhale. And exhale, release. Come back to center. Find a little counter rotation over the opposite shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Uncross your feet. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and then swap sides. So take your left leg, cross it on top of the right if there's no pain or discomfort in your hips or your knees. Or if not, take your left leg, cross it in front of the right. So a couple of options here, whatever works best for you. Then take the right arm over onto the left knee and the left arm behind you. Lengthen the spine, so use the arm behind you to grow tall. And on the exhale, we're going to use the hand that we hold against the knee as a little lever almost to gently move ourselves into the twist. Only flowing as far as it feels good in the spine, allowing the gaze to go over the left shoulder. And then growing tall on the inhale. And twisting a little bit more on the exhale. Last inhale. And exhale, release. Come back to center slowly with control. Uncross the feet. And then let's begin to shuffle back on our chair so we can begin to rest the lower back into the back of the chair again. Give yourself a little shimmy from side to side. Check that you're really comfortable. And then push the feet away from the body. Draw the palms up a little bit closer towards the body. And let's release through the neck. Draw the chin down to the chest. Allow the head to hang heavy. Take a few moments here. It almost looks like as if you'd fallen asleep. If you want to fall asleep, that of course, please do so. And then draw the chin over towards one shoulder. It doesn't matter which shoulder it is. Draw the chin as far as it feels good so we can find the stretch in the opposite part of our neck, the shoulders. And exhale, releasing forwards and down. And then inhale, draw the chin over to the opposite shoulder. Holding there for a few moments, making space between our ears and the shoulders. And then come back to center and slowly rolling back up through the spine. And once your head is in upright position, give it a little gentle shake here from side to side, from left to right. And allow the head to come back to center. Close the eyes and swallow a couple of times. And really softening the jaw, softening the tongue. Take a long breath in through the nose. And a big sigh out through the mouth. Long breath in. And sigh it out. Last inhale. And exhale. Allow the entire body to settle down into your chair. The soles of the feet melting into the ground. Let's take a journey together through the body. As I mention a part of your body, bring your awareness onto that body part, almost like a spotlight, highlighting it. And then imagine you're flicking a switch, turning that spotlight off, releasing any muscular effort you're holding, any tension. Starting at the sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right toes, ankle, lower leg, right knee, right upper leg, and the right side of the hip. So your entire right leg, it gets heavy. Releasing the sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left toes, ankle, lower leg, left knee, left upper leg, and left side of the hip. Releasing across the belly, into the lower back, middle back, upper back, right shoulder, right upper arm, elbow, lower arm, top of the right hand, palm of the right hand, right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Releasing across the chest into the left shoulder, left upper arm, elbow, lower arm, top of the left hand, palm of the left hand, left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Releasing all the way up the neck, across the throat, soften the jaw, release the tongue, cheeks, ears, nose, eyes, and forehead. Allowing the whole body to sink down, and for the next few moments, allow yourself to rest here without the need to do anything else or go anywhere else. And if your mind should choose to wander, then notice where it's wandering to. Is it a thought? Is it a sound? And then bring the awareness back. Slowly, without moving, begin to bring the awareness back into your body. Notice the breath. And begin to deepen your breath. Drawing in a little bit more air on the inhalation. Feel the belly and the rib cage rising. And maybe a gentle sigh as you breathe out, inviting movements into your fingers and your toes. Swallow a couple of times, soften the jaw. Maybe allow the head to roll from side to side, shaking it gently from left to right. In your next inhale, take the fingertips up towards the sky. Find a big stretch from left to right. Waking up your body ready for a beautiful rest of the day ahead of you. And then slowly draw the palms down to heart center, palms touch, thumbs in contact with your sternum, Anjali Mudra. Hand gesture signifying kindness and compassion towards ourselves and towards each other. Take a moment of gratitude towards yourself that you've reserved this time in your day to practice, to move, to breathe. Honoring that our bodies and each other, gently bowing the head towards the hands. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for joining this week. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to give me a call, send me an email. You should have my details. If you're new and you don't have my details, just head over to the website of Blackheath Yoga and you can find them all there. Good. So, what can I tell you about wildlife in my garden? Oh, actually, not that much today. Although, as you can see, I haven't been organized enough to record during the day, so it's getting slowly dark, and I can just see the bats whizzing past, which is very exciting. And I haven't seen the cuckoo again, I'm afraid. I don't know, maybe there has never been a cuckoo and I've just and I've just made things up in my mind. And our owl, I've also haven't heard for a while, but Barbara from our group has been hearing an owl near her house. So maybe my owl has just migrated over to her. Or maybe it's a friend of our owl, who knows? So thanks again for joining. I hope you have a lovely, lovely day, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.